The adaptation of a Shakespearean tragedy, Romeo and Juliet, showed two star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet, whom fall in love and decide to marry one another, despite being from two rival organized crime families, the Montagues and the Capulets of modern-day Verona Beach. As shown in Baz Luhrmann's version of the story, Juliet's father has arranged for her to be married to Paris. When Juliet attends the costume ball hosted by her parents, the Capulets, she meets Romeo, a Montague, and they fall in love. It's almost as if it is love at first sight. Automatically from the beginning, the mise-en-scène introduces the viewers to heavy religious iconography, with the help of things such as costuming, symbolizing purity, to images of nuns and Christian school students. The film's religious iconography is persistent throughout the entire film, emphasizing the puritanical nature of Romeo and Juliet's love, and hence its significance. Romeo and Juliet suggest that in order to be content and happy in life, we need to be with the person we love. By combining mise-en-scène and repetition in cinematography, the film allows to help Romeo and Juliet and the viewer learn this. Romeo and Juliet has a very distinct editing style, much different than any other adaptation of the film. In Luhrmann's film, each scene is edited in a frantic style, similar to the MTV music videos of its time. The fast-paced editing is able to bring attention to how little time the story takes place in, as well as bringing attention to the religious imagery in relation to their love. One scene that demonstrates this is when a beaten, bloody Romeo comes to Juliet's room on the night where Juliet is supposed to be married to Paris. The sequence opens with various images of religious statues, which continually cuts from the statues themselves to Juliet looking at them, an example of an eyeline match. There is then a cut to Romeo entering the room and Juliet moving towards him. This edit is supposed to tell the audience that Juliet thinks of Romeo in a religious, angelic way, and that her love for him is as pure as her Virgin Mary statue. At the end of the film, Romeo has then learned of what has happened to Juliet. Romeo rushes to find her, but the cops are fast on his trail. There is almost a rhythm to the editing in this scene, each shot only taking up a second before it cuts to another. The fast-paced editing of this scene shows what Romeo is feeling and that he would do anything to be with his one and only love, Juliet. Within Romeo and Juliet, cinematography is repeated in order to help develop the theme of the movie. Camera distance in the film enhances the love that Romeo and Juliet have for each other, as it helps to show each character's emotions and reactions. The star-crossed lovers are shown in a close-up angle continuously in the film, as they are either staring into each other's eyes, sharing a kiss, or even just a heartfelt conversation. This occurs multiple times in order to show their true love for one another. The repetition of close-up shots develops their love as it is emphasized in the cinematography. Another aspect of cinematography that is repeated many times is point of view. The camera shoots from behind the character multiple times to show the perspectives of Romeo and Juliet. This allows us to view the reactions and emotions as each show their love for one another. Romeo and Juliet transcending their love, although tragic, was one of the biggest driving factors of their story. Luhrmann uses mise-en-scène to translate the purity and endurance of Romeo and Juliet's love onto the screen. In the costume party held by the Capulets, Romeo dresses as a knight and Juliet dresses as an angel. This creates an archetype of the perfect pair, with the knight being noble and an angel being saintly. It is an embodiment of love at its purest. Furthermore, when Romeo and Juliet were at the pool and he asks her to vow her faithful love to him, she runs and jumps on him, and in a match-on-action shot, we are immersed in the pool with them. The frame now is a close-up shot of the two of them kissing. This use of mise-en-scène is used to portray the purity of Romeo and Juliet's unity and everlasting love.
Baz Luhrmann's adaptation of Romeo and Juliet proves that this story of young love is timeless. It differs from other adaptations from its modern approach to cinematography, editing, and mise-en-scène, what keeps the heartfelt story in the same writing style as William Shakespeare. Through the film's stylistic elements, we learn that to be happy, we have to be with the person we love.